Don't let what they've said to you, what they've done to you, ruin the potential of you growing and becoming better in this next place. Well, welcome everybody to the Andrew Adventure, and what an adventure it is. I am Dr. Ben Andrew, and I thank you for tuning in. If you would please do a favor and hit that subscribe button, like, comment, go to some of the videos, and you'll see that this is truly a place where it's about positivity. I have my kids on this channel, and we do some positive things. There's a lot of negativity out there in the world. I chose to do this space for the positive. So please hit that subscribe button. In light of everything that's happening in our country right now, it's February 2025. I want to give you some lessons on layoffs or layoff lessons. I think it's important in a time where individuals are truly challenged with the uncertainty and not knowing what will happen tomorrow. Take it from me. I'm someone, I woke up, went to work, saw an email that was above my chain of commands heads that said, "Peace, you're out of here." What matters most is we're going to make some progress through it. All right. So I want to give you 5 layoff lessons. This isn't my first go round with layoffs. In fact, it happened to me around 2024. I was with a great company, and budgetary things occur, and it's part of business. It's certainly a part of business, happens all of the time. What matters is how we learn when we move forward. I always tell people that it isn't how many times you are knocked down, but it's what you learn about yourself when you're down there. So let's get to it. I want you to think about the layoff as a transition. You may have quit the job, but I want you to think about it as a transition. And transitions could be complex because they take you from one norm, and sometimes you are automatically placed into a space of having to develop and learn new norms. That could create anxiety. That has a measure of trauma as well. But I want to give you 5 lessons that will help you navigate layoffs so that you'd be better when you start your next journey than you were when you left this last one. All right, layoff lessons. Number 1, emotion management. It is so critically important that you manage your emotions throughout this entire ordeal. So you're going to experience the emotions of anger. Perhaps you're going to have some resentment. Perhaps you're going to have some sadness, and self-esteem can even tank. There's a myriad of emotions that people deal with when they're laid off, when they're abruptly fired. You want to learn to manage those emotions, and it requires you to look into what are your coping mechanisms. For some of us, it's working out. For some of us, it's going take a walk, seeing family. What do you do to cope in times of intense emotion? Whatever you do, you want to do that often, because here's what happened. You can get into a job interview, and that emotion, that anger, it could truly affect your performance on the interview. In fact, you have to take into account the jobs that you may not get, and it may create some resentment, some anger. You want to manage your emotion, especially in online spaces. I see on LinkedIn sometime people get fired, laid off, and they go to lashing out about the previous employer, and it's just not a good look. You don't want that, because you're going to have other employers possibly typing your name in. And when they type your name in, what will they see? So do me a favor, type your name in Google and see what's out there. If it goes to your Facebook page and you have a bunch of stuff, you're just talking wild, political, and all, that's not going to be a good thing. You want to ensure that your emotions are managed in such a way that you are coping and you are dealing with them, not to bring more negativity in your life, and certainly not to put it on a billboard so that people will see you as this controversial, negative figure. The second thing, you want to practice radical gratitude. Now, from me to you, this is an important ordeal, because being thankful, being grateful does something to us. It does something for our cognitive abilities. It does something even for blood pressure. Listen, being grateful, practicing radical gratitude does something from slowing down your aging. Yeah, slowing down the aging process because when you're not grateful, you begin to worry. And even there's physical reactions. You slump down and you start to become this worrisome contrarian. You don't want that because you'll eventually miss the opportunity to have a moment of joy. And in this time when there's negativity all over the television, when you scroll, there's negativity, you want to embrace those moments of joy. We don't know what tomorrow may hold. So practice radical gratitude. What makes it radical? Well, even though there is all hell breaking loose in your life, you still find the time and the space to be thankful. I practice radical gratitude by being thankful for the moments I had at the old job, being thankful for the connections I made, the people that I was able to inspire and impact is radical gratitude, especially if you're a leader. If you are a leader, one of the most phenomenal things you can have is the ability to positively influence somebody and to see them grow. Be grateful for that. You have to learn to be grateful for that. I found myself reflecting back on people that I've trained, reflecting on moments that we've had, friendships that were made. I found myself being grateful for the good times. And the more you embrace the good times, you have good times. Number three, watch the trauma transfer. And the trauma transfer is when whatever happened at the last place starts to bleed over into this place or the new place. These people know nothing about who did you wrong or what occurred. What you don't want to do is lead with that. Watch the trauma transfer. There are some things that have occurred. You may have been wronged. You may have seen and witnessed some low down, disgusting acts. That's all a part of this grimy, dirty game we call business. But you want to watch the trauma transfer. You have to deal with it. You have to cope. Don't let what they've said to you, what they've done to you, ruin the potential of you growing and becoming better in this next place. Number four, explore other skills. You want to learn to apply for different jobs that are truly different from what you have done in the past. Think about those skills that you have that you are so good at. You're gifted. Some people are talented, some people are gifted, but you're gifted at this stuff. You may not have been paid for it or compensated because it's just something normal for you. It's just a talent, it's just a gift. Listen, start to look into that. Lean into those things that you may not have been compensated for, but you're very good at. You'd be amazed at what you discover about yourself. Again, don't let what happened to you put a shadow over what you're able to make happen for yourself. And lastly, revisit the concept of rest. Revisit the concept of rest. I'm not talking about sleep because you can get a lot of sleep and truly not be at rest. I'm talking about a serene state, whether you are sitting reading a book, whether you are just watching your children play. Revisit that concept of rest. All too often during the layoff period, there's stress. Speaking from my personal perspective and my personal experience, I remember stressing every month, not able to enjoy that time off. And then I look back like, man, I should have taken a trip. I should have played with my children more. I should have smiled more. I should have enjoyed somewhere in that process. But I allowed a lot of the resentment to take over. And though we were all right, my family, we made some good investments, we made some great financial decisions. Though we were all right, I was still dealing with the hustle and bustle of trying to find jobs and of trying to remain relevant, of trying to understand what happened, trying to create more opportunities, and so on. I did not revisit rest. You got to learn to revisit that because when you are well rested, you perform better on interviews. You're going to find better jobs. When you are well rested, you're going to have a better vibe about yourself. Revisit that concept of rest. Remember those: emotion management, practicing radical gratitude, watching that trauma transfer. Number four, exploring those other skills. And number five, revisiting the reality of rest. Hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and comment. I want to know, what do you think? What are your thoughts in terms of your layoff and lessons you've learned? Share some of those comments. You never know who's reading. Some people may need to see what you have to say. And I'm welcoming all of that. No negativity, all right? Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe. Take care.